Across the South Coast, live from Solent University. You're listening to Solent Sports News.
Good afternoon, it's 1 o'clock. I'm Daisy O'Reilly with your lunchtime Solent Sports News Bulletin. Nathan Jones will manage his first game as Southampton's coach this weekend in the final Premier League action before the World Cup break. Southampton travelled to Liverpool looking to bounce back from the 4-1 thrashing to Newcastle. Despite leading Luton to a sixth-place finish in the Championship last year, Jones believes Southampton's structure was the main reason behind the move.
I feel this is a real calculated club. Obviously, I wanted to manage in the Premier League. I've dreamt of that since I've become a coach and a manager. But this club in particular, because of how it's run, because of the structure, because of how they look deeper than just results, really appeals to me.
Sticking with Saints, captain James Ward-Prowse has not been included in Gareth Southgate's 26-man squad for the upcoming World Cup in Qatar. The England manager has stated that he does not see Ward-Prowse in the same profile as midfielders Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, who got the nod over him. Southampton will face League One side Lincoln City in the fourth round of the Carabao Cup, after beating fellow League One side Sheffield Wednesday on penalties. League Two side Gillingham, who upset Premier League side Brentford, will travel to Molineux to face Wolves. The tie of the round, however, sees Manchester City host holders Liverpool. Staying with the Carabao Cup, last night Manchester United defeated Aston Villa 4-2 at Old Trafford. After a pretty unforgettable first half, Villa led twice before late goals from Anthony Martial and Scott McTominay sealed the win. They will now host Burnley in round 4, and manager Erik ten Hag was happy after a much improved performance.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that resilience, and that's what we need, and that we have to show every game. That's why I was so disappointed. I was really mad on Sunday with the performance from us because we didn't fight.
England will face the host nation New Zealand in Women's World Rugby Cup final in the early hours of tomorrow. They booked their spot in the final after beating Canada 26-19 in the last four. England captain Sarah Hunter believes this Rugby World Cup has shown huge development in the women's game.
Probably had two of the most competitive semi-finals we've ever had at a World Cup. So I just think, that growth from personally my first World Cup in 2010 to this day it's been brilliant.
Elsewhere in the Women's Rugby League World Cup, England will face New Zealand in the semi-final tomorrow at the Community Stadium in York. This competition was supposed to be held in 2021, but was postponed to this year due to COVID. The defending champions Australia will take on Papua New Guinea in the other last four tie. Joe Root believes winning the World Cup in 2019 and losing the T20 final in 2016 will motivate England ahead of Sunday's final. England will face Pakistan in Melbourne after thumping India by 10 wickets on Thursday. Root believes the squad is stacked full of experience.
I found that going into the 2019 World Cup final, having experienced the T21, it was good to have that in the bank, if you like. I think it can only really benefit us, those guys having been there and have an understanding of what it's likely to be. It's a really good place to be for the team, and I'm really excited to watch it.
We're now joined by Josh Mann to talk to us through England's tournament so far.
Brilliant tournament for England so far. Rain has affected it greatly and could still affect it, as I'll allude to in a bit. They started with a win over Afghanistan by 5 wickets before the rain really started to take centre stage and affect them. They lost to Ireland by 5 runs, which on DLS, which saw them looking to struggle to get out of the group. This was then followed up by an abandonment against Australia without a ball bowled. This left them needing to win both of their final 2 games and hope no further rain would affect them. They did just that, and even with a narrow victory over Sri Lanka in the final game. They saved arguably their best ever T20 performance for the semi-final against India, however, as they thumped them by 10 wickets with a record opening stand at the World Cup. Both teams in the final against Pakistan, both teams will go into it looking to secure the win. Rain, however, could affect it, as I alluded to earlier, and as is rain forecasted for both days on the final and the reserve day on the Monday. And if this is the case, the trophy will be shared.
Thank you, Josh. Former Solent Kestrels player Jeremy Sohan continued his NBA rise after another fantastic performance last night. Sohan was the second highest scorer for San Antonio, hitting 6 of his 7 shots for 13 points. Half British and half Polish, Sohan rose through the ranks in Southampton before going to college in America. Staying with basketball, Team GB Basketball's World Cup chances are on the line tonight against Serbia. Team GB must win all their final qualifying games to reach the tournament next summer in Asia. Qualifying for the penultimate race of the Formula One season takes place on Saturday for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Last time out in Mexico, world champion Max Verstappen secured a routine race victory of Lewis Hamilton. Both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships have already decided at the Japanese and United States Grand Prix respectively. Southampton will kick off some seasonal festivities with the opening of the annual ice rink. You can visit the bar from 3 o'clock today, but due to weather conditions, the rink won't be set up until next Tuesday. With the return of the temporary ice rink, a renewed plea has been made for a new leisure facility to open in Southampton. That's all from us for now. I'll be back in an hour. Remember, you can keep up to date on our website, solentjournalism.co.uk.